for September 13, 2022. Please stand and raise your right hand if you wish to speak. Do you all swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing? Thank you. Please silence all electronic devices.
Our first case is on page 13, Inspector Gustavo Caracas. Case number CE 2206-0660. Case address 1604 Southeast 12th Street. Owner 1604 Southeast Trust, Thomas Anderson Trustee. Property posted August 10th, 2022. Posted at City Hall August 30th, 2022. Is there a respondent for 1604 Southeast 12th Street?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Officer Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Inspector presenting case number CE 2206-0660 for the property located at 1604 Southeast 12th Street. Inspection of the property was performed on June 28, 2022, and cited for the following violations. 47-5.18. Storage of fuel in a yellow commercial vessel labeled petersonsfuel.com is not listed as permitted and/or conditional use under the list of permitted and conditional uses within an RML 25 district. Per City of Fort Lauderdale Code 47-1.14.b.5, permitted and conditional uses, a prohibited use is any use vehicle is not listed as permitted, conditional, or accessory use in a zoning district, and which is not substantially similar to those uses listed as permitted, conditional, or accessory use in that zoning district. 47-18.13.c.1. Fuel is being stored in a commercial vessel labeled petersonfuels.com and is not required not in required tanks in accordance with the standards set forth in the City of Fort Lauderdale Code of Ordinances. 47-18.13.8. Fuel is being stored in a commercial vessel labeled petersonfuels.com and not in required tanks in accordance with the standards set forth in the City of Fort Lauderdale Code of Ordinances. Notice was mailed to the property owner listed on BCPA via first class mail on June 28, 2022, allowing 15 days to come into compliance. Contact has been made with the property owner, the vessel owner as well. Special Magistrate request from sent on August 8th and scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done yesterday, September 12th, and picture presented here were taken to confirm the violations still exist. The city is requesting the following, Your Honor: 48 hours to comply, or a daily fine of $500 for each of the violations that exist. Photos submitted into record for evidence, Your Honor, and the owner of the property is here with us today.
No, I'm sorry, repeat the city's recommendation.
City's recommendation, sir, is 48 hours to remove the vessel.
48,
48 hours,
okay?
or a daily fine of $500 for each of the violations that exist. Per day, per violation that exists.
Right? Okay, on behalf of the respondent,
Good morning, Special Magistrate. My name is Rebecca Crown. I would first like to
if
mention
you'll
that there's
just
been...
speak right into the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
There's been no formal answer as to why the previous case number CE 22030090 was replaced with the current case. I can only think that it's because code enforcement didn't believe that those previous violations mentioned would hold here today. The inspector and the supervisor inspector's message at the end of each conversation is simple. A commercial vessel is in a residential area and it needs to be moved. If there is a code that states this, that no commercial vessel should be docked behind a residence in Fort Lauderdale, I would like to see that referenced in the citation for the violation. The code violations in this case reference the storage of fuel not being in the required above-ground tanks, and also gasoline being stored in underground tanks in accordance with the Florida Building Code. The vessel does not store fuel. In fact, the vessel has the same amount of gallons in the tank as many other commercial and personal vessels within it. Further, the vessel is extremely safe. It is inspected by the Coast Guard and held to a much higher standard. It has to obtain a COI. But when questioned about the safety, I explained this, and it seemed like it was neither here nor there. It seems to me that this is really about just moving the vessel due to its appearance. While I do not agree with the code violations cited, both the ones dropped and the current ones, efforts have been made to move the boat. I have written documentation that we've been on a wait list since April of 2022 for dockage for a commercial vessel. I also have numerous verbal declinations. So given our efforts that we have tried to move the vessel, but is not as simple as moving a personal yacht or moving a commercial vessel that looks like a personal yacht, we are asking for a 60-day extension to move the vessel. Again, I do not agree with the code violations cited, but in an effort to end the complaints that are called in by Mrs. Jenkins, there are efforts being made to secure new dockage, and we will secure new dockage.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Anything further from the city?
No, Your Honor, city stands.
Your Honor,
So,
good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Saintville Joseph, Assistant City Attorney, if I may. The city has several issues with this property, and we are going to stand by our recommendation to remove the vessel within 48 hours and a running of daily fines of $500 per day for violation. One, because this is a life safety issue. This is a vessel that carries gasoline, and there are potential hazards there. And two, the property owner has constructive and actual notice that this vessel does not belong in a residential area, and yet it's parked in a residential area. So actual notice, because there is a settlement agreement that was entered into, and it's dated June 26, 2012, which specifically indicates that the property owner agrees to avoid locating tank ships for purposes of fueling at or near any property, residences, and/or private residential neighborhoods. So they knew or should have known that that is not allowed in that area. So they are in breach of that settlement agreement. They've been properly cited and noticed, and so we stand by this recommendation.
okay. Ma'am, I see
At
you
this
stood
time-
up. You have an interest in this? Okay, if you'll step over to the microphone, you can move the microphone down, speak right into it, and state your name.
Kay Jenkins.
All right, what would you like to add?
Well, it's right across the canal, and it's in a residential area. It's yellow. It's a big yellow boat, and it shouldn't be there at all.
All right, okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody's had their say.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd like to introduce and make it a part of the record, the settlement agreement that I referred to that was entered into between the property owner and the city, and it's dated June 26, 2012. We'd like to make this part of the record. I am providing it to the staff for your reference, Your Honor.
Okay, the settlement agreement dated 26 June 2012 will be made a part of the record. Okay, all right, I assume you're familiar with that.
Excuse me, Your
The
Honor?
settlement agreement?
Yes,
Okay.
while I don't understand
Okay.
why that applies to this.
All right, for the
specific
record, I
violation.
found that each violation does exist, 48 hours to comply, $500 per day on each violation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, okay, good, hang on. Okay, I've just signed an order.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Gustavo Caracas.
I'm sorry. The case is on page
25.
4.
25. 25.
25.
Inspector Gustavo Caracas.
All right.
There are two cases on page 25. Case address 409 Northeast 3rd Street. Case number CE 220200816, owner Chip Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on 4/12/22 to comply by 5/10/22. Suspended 5/10/22 to 8/9/22. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day. $10,500 is accrued, and this is a request for an extension. Also on page 25 is case address 405 Northeast 3rd Street. Case number CE 220200894. Case owner Chip Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on 4/12/22 to comply by 5/10/22. Suspended 5/10/22 to 8/9/22. 3 sections not complied at $100 per day. $10,500 has accrued, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Officer
morning.
Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 220200816 located for 409 Northeast 3rd Street, and case number CE 220200894 located at 405 Northeast 3rd Street. Your Honor, both cases first came before Special Master on April 12th of 2022, where the evidence was presented and Magistrate found for the city. Your Honor, both cases at this time are not in compliance. The city's requesting the following, Your Honor, to have an extension for both properties of 126 days and a stay of fines, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry, 120
26 days and a stay of fines
days. All right, on each.
on each of the violation, and this is due to city staff and recommendations, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Counselor. If you'll speak right into the microphone
Yes,
and
good
state your
morning.
name.
My name is Ben Olive. I represent the landowners, and this is the Top Hat Deli and the adjacent parking lot that is in the process of working through this violation in order to provide some paving and draining, landscaping, and as you heard, we've been working closely with the city,
Right.
and asked that our joint suggestion to stay the fines and continue to work towards this common goal be granted.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. The request for extension on each case is granted, 120 days, and the fines are stayed as of this date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
126, okay, 126 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19. Inspector Bernstein Sandberg. Case number CE 220200277. Case address 1224 Northwest 6th Avenue. Owner Suzanne Lammy. This case was first heard on 4/12/22 to comply by 6/14/22. Suspended 7/12/22 to 8/9/22. 1 section complied at $50 per day, $1,350 accrued. 1 section not complied at $50 per day, $3,150 accrued. A total of $4,550 has accrued, and the city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bernstein Sandberg, City of Fort Lauderdale, Community Enhancement, case number CE 22020277. Property address 1224 Northwest 6th Ave. This property was inspected on February 7th. Cited for the following violations: 9-308B complied, 24-7B complied, 9305 complied, and 9306 complied. 308A, there are multiple broken and missing roof tiles. The roof is stained, not in good repair, and is not weathertight. A pre-hearing inspection revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. As of today, there are no permit on file for the roof. I would like to add the photos as evidence that show violation as depicted. As of today, the city is going to recommend the owner to speak on to the reason why the violation is not in compliance, and we want to change the stance of the requesting the full amount based on her reasons.
All right, ma'am, if you'll step up and speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Suzanne Lammy.
And you're the owner of the property.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, you've gotten several things taken care of, but you got broken and missing tiles, roof is stained, not in good repair, not weather or watertight. Tell me what you're doing to address that.
I changed contractors, so now I have a new contract, and he's going to pull a permit today, and I'm getting a new roof. So I need just like probably at least another month, and I'll come into compliance.
All right, and I'm sorry, tell me that again. You're
I just got a new contractor yesterday, and he's pulling a permit today for the
All
new
right.
roof. And I need another 30 days to come into compliance.
So the city wants to give the owner 63 days extension to come into compliance or a fine of, what was it, $50 per day.
All right, so
With the stay of fines.
can you get this done, cleaned up in 28 days?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to grant a 28-day extension and stay the fines as the state.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
You still have other fines.
Yes.
We'll look at those when you get this taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Our next case is on page 9 with Inspector Sandberg. Case address 631 Northwest 9th Avenue. Case number CE 22040267. Owners Beeman Lawrence and Altamise Jones. Property posted 8/2/22, posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bernstein, Sandberg, City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 22040267. Property address 631 Northwest 9th Ave. This property was first inspected on April 7, 2022 by Inspector Quintero Jr. for the following violations. 9305B, landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell. Inspection report was hand-delivered and mailed out to the owner according to BCPA records. A pre-hearing inspection on September 12, 2022 revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to add the photos as evidence that shows violations as depicted. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day.
I'm sorry, repeat the city's recommendation.
63 days or a fine of $25 per day.
63. Good. Okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Michael Thompson.
Okay. I've been looking at the photographs. Anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said? He's requesting 63 days to bring this into compliance.
No, we already spoke about it, and we can get that completed within 63 days.
Okay, and I found the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you. There's another case on page 10 for the case address 639 Northwest 9th Avenue. Case number CE 22040015. Owner Beeman Lawrence and Altamise Jones. Property posted 8/2/22, posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Bernstein, Sandberg, City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 22040015. Case address 639 Northwest 9th Ave. This property was inspected on April 7th, 2022 by Inspector Quintero Jr. The following violations were observed. 1812A complied, 9-306 complied, 9-308B complied. 9-304B, the gravel driveway is not being maintained. It is worn through. There are areas which have weeds growing through it. 9-305B, The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell. 4734.1.8.1, there is an illegal land use occurring at this RMM-25 zone property. There is a non-permitted outdoor storage included, but not limited to wood, metal items, plastic bins, chairs, and other miscellaneous items. Inspection report mailed out to the owner according to BCPA records. Pre-hearing inspection on September 12, 2022 revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to add the photos as evidence that show violation is depicted. Also, this property has a previous case, CE 1811-0482, which all three violations were finding the fact. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day.
I'm sorry, 63 days or?
$25.
Okay. All right, sir, again, anything you'd like to respond with?
No, I agree with everything you
Okay.
said.
All right, and for the record, I found the violations do exist, 63 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter on each case.
Thank you, Your Honor. There's another case on page 12. Case address 635 Northwest 9th Avenue. Case number CE 2204028. Owners Beeman Lawrence and Altamise Jones. Property posted 8/2/22, posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Bernstein, Sandberg, City of Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 22040258, case address 635 Northwest 9th Ave. Property was inspected April 7, 22 by Inspector Quintero Jr. The following violations were observed at this property. 9-305B, landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are dead and missing ground cover, including the swell. 9-304B, there is a parked vehicle or parked or stored on the grass. An inspection report was mailed out to the owner according to BCPA records. A pre-hearing inspection on September 12, 2022 revealed the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to add the photos as evidence that show violation as depicted. Also, this property have a previous case, CE 1811-0483, for the violation stated as finding the fact. The city is requesting 63 days to comply or a fine of $25 per day.
Okay. All right, sir, again, you agree? I see you're nodding your head.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. For the record, I find the violations do exist, 63 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 17. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 211-10176. Case address 2828 East Sunrise Boulevard. Owner Sunrise FTL Ventures LLLP. This case was first heard on 1/11/22 to comply by 2/15/22 and 7/19/22. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $13,300 has accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. Senior Inspector Cologne on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 211-0176. Case address 2828 East Sunrise Boulevard. This case was originally opened on 11/4/21 and came before the Special Magistrate on 01/11/22, where evidence was presented and the magistrate found for the city. Special Magistrate Purdy ordered 35 days to comply or $50 a day for violation 9306 and 189 days for violation 47-2020H. As of the last inspection, the violations remain as depicted on the photos and presented for the record. However, after checking Acela, there is a DRC application on file, and the developer or owner of the property is here to speak in reference to the progress for the development.
So we acquired the property in March of 2021, and we spent the next year going through the DRC process. We achieved unanimous approval in June of 22. The appeals period ended in August of this year, and we've already commenced work on the construction documents to start construction, hopefully third quarter, but most likely fourth quarter of next year. We have a handyman on site, and we've tried to address all of the issues that have been brought to us. If there are additional issues, we will absolutely address those immediately. If there's additional cracks in the buildings or additional painting, we've tried to stay on top of it. Every day it's a occurring event with graffiti because the buildings are closed. Most of the buildings are closed. There's a homeless problem out there as well. So we agree 100% with Officer Dorian's assessments. The only issue we have is the parking lot. The parking lot was restriped before we bought it. I believe it was done without a permit. It was done incorrectly, but we inherited that. So to the extent that we can fix it, I don't know. What we're asking for is at least a 6 months extension to resurface the parking lot. We have addressed some of the issues out there. We've gone out there with asphalt, fixed the holes that we've seen. But the cost to completely resurface a parking lot for buildings that are closed just didn't seem to make sense for the project that's going to be completely demolished 6 to 12 months from now anyway. It is public parking, so again, we're cognizant of making sure we maintain the parking lot in a reasonable manner, which we have. It's just, I think, a function of resurfacing the entire parking lot, which we're asking for an extension on that. Any other issues, we'll completely address. We'll go out there and meet Officer Dorian with our handyman and address them accordingly.
All right, city's response.
Your Honor, the city would not oppose to an extension of 175 days with a stay of fines for the parking lot, 47-20.20H. But that we would also request a mandatory reappearance for March 7th, 2023.
All right, okay. All right, the extension is granted and the fine stayed of this, as of this date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dorian, just to be clear, you're asking for a 175-day extension on the entire case, not just the one violation?
Actually, sorry about that. Yes, you're right. Can I separate the extensions on those? Would that be okay? To do 14 days extension on the exterior?
Can you please restate your recommendation for the Special Master's consideration? Your Honor, if we can have staff restate the recommendation for clarity purposes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I apologize. The city would not oppose to an extension of 175 days and a stay of fines for violation 4720.20H and an extension for 14 days and a stay of fines for violation 9-306.
All right. Are we clear? Very good. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 14. It is an administrative appeal with Inspector Malaika Murray. Case number CE 22030687 for the property located at 5180 Northeast 18th Avenue.
Okay.
Bulk trash.
Inspector Murray for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 22030687 for the address of 5180 Northeast 18th Avenue. This property is in regard, or the case is in regards to a bulk trash violation. This RS8 single-family zone property was first inspected on 3/16/2022, and the following violation was once again observed. Violation for 24-7B. There was bulk trash along the front of the property on 18th Avenue in the southwest corner of the property. A 48-hour bulk trash notice was posted at the property. During re-inspections, subsequent re-inspections, I observed that the bulk trash had not been removed until March the 27th, 2022, as per a city work order. There had been no contact with the ownership or property representation up until that point. BCPA records show that there has been no change in property ownership since August the 22nd of 2001, and the property is currently homesteaded. We do have the ownership here who would like to speak with you, Special Magistrate.
All right, do we got a picture of the notice? All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Nasser Mir.
All right, what would you like to add?
Okay, Your Honor, anybody as a resident of the city of Fort Lauderdale can put trash in my sidewalk except myself. I have a neighbor across the street that has about 8 unit cheap housing rental that doesn't have enough place for the trash, and also he has not enough place for the parking. And frequently he's put his garbage to my property. You know, first time, and after a hurricane, when I bring a dump to put the trash of the trees, overnight he loaded my dump with all broken bed, chair, and everything. For the second time, he put some garbage again in the same location, and my brother took it away, and I said, well, this is a neighbor, don't bother. This time I was not in town. I had a sick patient in Virginia, Maryland. I was there for 25 days. And when I came back, I saw the citation for moving the trash. I took this, the gentleman inside my house, and I said, if you find 1 pound of the debris that you saw over there is the evidence in my house, I will pay for each dollar of your fine $100.
All right, okay.
And he personally, he visited my house, and there was no evidence of the demolition. And beside that, the house is vacant and is going to be demolished, and the permit of the demolition underway.
All right, sir, thank you very much. This is an administrative hearing, which is in essence an appeal. There's only one issue for me to decide. Based on the evidence, I have to determine whether or not the city complied with the ordinance. Looking at the evidence and the photographs, I find that the city did, in fact, comply with the ordinance, so I'm going to deny your appeal. Thank you.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
I didn't understand.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't understand what you said.
You lost.
Regarding
It's denied. Okay. Sir, we have sir, we have other cases on the docket we need to call. Thank you.
But regarding of that trash was not mine, I lost. That's a good argument.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
Our next case is on page 27. Supervisor Julio Davila presenting case number CE 21060120. Case address 1417 Northwest 12th Street. Owner Von Seal Jackson. This case was first heard on 2/24/22 to comply by 5/26/22, suspended 6/14/22 through 9/13/22. 8 sections not complied at $25 per day. $3,800 has accrued, and this was an order to reappear.
Good morning, Julio Davila, Code Compliance Supervisor for the City of Fort Lauderdale on behalf of Code Compliance Officer Bo Riggs-Antis for the case number and address as read. This case was first heard on February 24th, 2022, and the magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was ordered 91 days to correct the violations at this property. At the June 14th, 2022 hearing, the magistrate granted an additional 91 days to comply. Pre-hearing inspection performed yesterday, September 12th, 2022, revealed that the property remains in violation, and we are seeking an imposition of the accrued fines.
All right, so orders reappear. That's uncompliant, not in compliance, not in compliance, not in compliance, not in compliance, not in compliance. All right, who's the owner of the property? She is, okay. Ma'am, are you going to speak? And who are you? You're her daughter. All right. What would you like to add? This has been going on a long time, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 violations.
First of all, a lot of that stuff been done. The pool been corrected. Nobody check it. Most of the facial board are done, except for one.
Wait, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone. I don't know who you're
I
talking
said the pool been corrected. She cleaned up the pool. All the facial board is done except for on the right side. We bought grass. The people sent us out a pallet of grass that was dead. So they wouldn't replace the grass and they wouldn't give us our money back. So everything else, the gates are put up on both sides. All that has been done except for just the grass and the facial board. The pool been correct. The pool has been corrected.
The pool's
been clean.
fixed?
Yes, fixed. Only thing we don't have we have to keep putting chlorine in because we didn't buy a pump yet. So everything's been corrected.
Maybe a re-inspection is in order, but we've got all of these violations, and city's request is that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue. Is that correct?
And they already fined me $3,000.
All right. Is that the city's recommendation that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue?
If you can, Special Magistrate, so the pool needs to be in working order, just because there were dunks or it was clean. It needs to be in working order in order to prevent it from falling into a disrepair state. And per the pictures that you see here,
I have pictures of the pool where it's clean. The only thing is I bought a pump.
Okay.
The pump broke and I couldn't get it rebuilt. They don't rebuild
Okay.
pumps, so I have to buy a pump. She doesn't have. I know she got other kids, but I'm the reliable one. I just got over. I'm a full-term COVID patient, so I cannot really physically. I'm trying to help her as well. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I'm doing the things like she paid $280 for grass. Somebody bought out dead. We had to take that as a loss. And we got to restart over again. With the pool, I got to restart over again, which is clean. If you come, it's clean. It's clean. You can see the kids are swimming in the pool. The gate, I've tried to put up. We don't have no man to really physically help us. It costs. She don't have the funds. I have to replace what she don't have. The gate is together. It's not like what y'all wanted because I leave it open so I can park and I don't have to keep getting out. The gate is together. I went to Home Depot buying pieces to put the gate together. It's not like we're not trying. We're trying, but the finance is just not coming like we want it to. I'm really upset because the grass, she paid $280 for grass, and somebody bring out dead, and then it's not even there.
So if we grant you an additional 35 days, you think you'll be able to finalize the pool pump, fix the gates the way they're supposed to be, and place the grass on the property?
I'm going to buy a pump next month. I'm going to buy a pump. I've got to physically order it and buy a pump.
Okay.
We need more than 35 days for the pump to come, and then I have to have a pool man. I already got him to come out. He's going to put it together, make this a pool for me. I'm trying my best. It's not like we're not trying, but she's legally blind, and I'm the only one that really physically helped her out.
Special Magistrate, I'm not opposed as to granting one final extension for 63 days, whatever would bring us to the next hearing.
Okay, how many days? How many days extension?
Yeah, 63. Just wanted to confirm.
No, you can't do 63 on the pool. You can't do 63 on the
Okay.
pool. So let's do 35, order to reappear.
Okay. We'll do 35 then, as the Assistant Director mentioned.
Okay, I'm going to grant a 63-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
35, Your Honor, is what we're requesting because of the pool being a life safety issue.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with the pool, it's just don't have a pump.
We know, so the code requires you all to have clean, clear, circulating water. So your water clarity is not an issue for us. We have to have a pump. So the code really has 10 days. We're requesting 35. We can't give 63. When you come back at 35, you can get another extension if you show progress. Okay? And if you all don't mind, for the record, could you both please state your name just so that when we do the record, your name is on the record for us?
My name is Vonsia Jackson.
Thank you.
My name is Minerva Parks Door.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Just also to,
So we're gonna do what I gotta do, the best that I can. We got to wait like 2 weeks for the pump to come.
All right, very good.
So how much we are being fined per day? But you said $33,000 already accrued.
Yeah, their state is of this date, okay?
So the
You'll get
fines are
you'll
suspended.
get an order in the mail.
it's equally important life safety issue, the matter of the fence, that they be, that they're also placed accordingly, according to the code, because that is, they leads to the pool. So that's a, safety barrier issue as well.
I have a wooden fence up and it's always locked.
Okay.
Not for the sake of hiding it, it's just that I know kids wander off
Mhm.
because I have 11 grandkids, so I know the risk. So that's why I'm trying to clean the pool up.
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know for you guys, for them too. But I'm
Yes,
just-
ma'am.
I appreciate that.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys, y'all have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 5. Inspector Michelle Shariar, case number CE 22070570. Case address 307 Northeast 23rd Terrace. Owners Guy and Vared Shashan. Property posted 8/10/22. Posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michelle Sherriar, Code Officer with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 22070570, address 307 Northeast 23rd Terrace. This property was inspected on July 28th, 2022, and the following violation was observed. 18-12A. Complied. However, this is a recurring violation of cases number CE 2201-0879, CE 211-00418, and CE 2002-0762. A public nuisance form was issued and posted on the property. Reinspection was done on August 8th, 2022. The property came into compliance on August 8th, 2022. The photos are as depicted on the screen. The city is requesting a finding of fact.
All right, your city's request is simply for a finding of fact,
Yes.
right? Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name.
Farid Bazilio Shushan, we're the owner of the house. We bought it 2 years ago. It was supposed to be renovated. We had issues with the contractor and architect who just vanished with our money.
Okay.
This has happened during the summer. We have someone that's supposed to clean and cut the grass every 3 weeks. During the summer, we weren't here, and it happened. He didn't show, but as soon as you contacted us, we went and fixed
Okay.
it. I mean, we
Okay,
don't
but
ignore
ma'am,
anything.
you're in compliance now. Okay, so no fine, whatever. Okay,
Okay,
but I do
thank
make
you.
a finding of fact that the violation did exist. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 5. Inspector Michelle Sherriar. I'm sorry, Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 22070370. Case address 2621 Northeast 13th Court. Owner G.S. Leeward LLC. Property posted 8/30/22. Posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning again. Senior Inspector Coloyan for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 22070370. Case address 2621 Northeast 13th Court. This property was first inspected on July 15th, 2022, which resulted in the following violations. 18-1, there's trash throughout the backyard, including but not limited to a large cardboard box, black office chair, and a brown chest on the northeast side of the backyard, in addition to large cardboard boxes, styrofoam packaging, and a large plastic garbage bag behind a 4.5-foot fence, which is causing blight to the neighboring area and creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of the adjacent properties. Violation 9-280H1 has been complied, and 47-21.9.K, gravel is being utilized throughout the backyard in excess of the maximum 10% of the total landscape area allowed per the city's code. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/13/2022, and the violations remain as depicted in the photos for the record. The city is requesting 10 days to comply for violation 18-1, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter, and 35 days to comply 47-21.9.K, or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay. All right, 9-280H
Is complied.
complied. All right,
Yes.
sir. You'll state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Alexis Dominguez. So we just wanted to clarify, everything has been done except for the white pavers on the back that is exceeding the 10%. We just wanted to ask for an extension of 30 days, if that's possible.
Okay, all right. This is violation 18-1. I find the violation does exist. It's 10 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Correct.
Okay. And 47-21.9.K, I find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, would you like a brief recess or do you want to continue? Would you like a brief recess or would you like to just continue?
Good. Brief recess.
We're going to take a brief recess. Resuming this morning's special magistrate hearing. Our next case is on page 2. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 22060721. Case address 1429 Southwest 9th Street. Owner Forward Riverside Properties LLC. Property posted 8/30/22. Posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning again. Senior Inspector Kaloyan, on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale, case number CE 22060721, case address 1429 Southwest 9th Street. This property was first inspected on June 28th, 2022, which resulted in the following violations. 1812A has been complied. 9304B, the parking facilities are in disrepair. There are potholes, cracks, and the surface is uneven. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including the fascia and soffits, are in disrepair, and there are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 9/13/2022, and the violations remain. I would like to enter the photos for the record, and the city is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine in the amount of $50 a day per violation thereafter.
I find that the violations do exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 2. Inspector Malaika Murray. Case number CE 220. I'm sorry, case number CE 22060233 is being rescheduled. Our next case is on page 8. Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 22070436, case address 200 Northwest 2nd Street. Owner Williams Communication, Inc., in care of Level 3 Communications. Property posted 8/10/22, posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Officer Caracas for the City of Fort Lauderdale, Compliance Inspector presenting case number CE 2207-0436 for the property located at 200 Northwest 2nd Street. Inspection of the property was performed on July 20th, 2022, and cited for the following violations. 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this vacant lot property and its soil. 18-1 has complied. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior wall that has stains and missing paint. 9-305, there's overgrowth of landscape material along with the accumulation of leaves encroaching upon the public right-of-way or the sidewalk. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner as listed on BCPA via first-class mail on April 12, 2022, allowing time to come into compliance. Contact has not been made with the property owner or any representative of the property. Special magistrate request form was sent on August 3rd and scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on September 8th, and pictures presented here were taken to confirm the violations have not been brought into compliance. The city is requesting the following, Your Honor. 35 days to come into compliance or a daily fine of $50 for each of the violations that exist.
All right.
Photo submitted into record for evidence.
I find that each violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 12. Inspector Bernstein Sandberg, case number CE 22060599, case address 331 Northwest 15th Avenue, owner City Flats, Inc. This was a case for Inspector Wilson Quintero Jr. Inspector Bernstein Sandberg is presenting Property posted 8/2/22, posted at City Hall 8/30/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. This case is in compliance.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Case number CE 22060733. Case address 1131 Northeast 12th Avenue. Owner Makaza LLC. This case was cited on 7/7/22 to comply by 7/22/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $4,400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for the citation.
All right, the city's request is granted.
Our next case on page 15 with Inspector Leonard Champagne, case number CE 22070280. Case address 1616 Northeast 11th Street. Owner Bradley Cady. This case was cited on 7/14/22 to comply by 7/29/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $2,800 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
Case number CE 22070279, case address 708 Northeast 14th Place. Owner Anita Johnson. This case was cited on 7/17/22 to comply by 8/1/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $3,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for the citation.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 16. Inspector Paulette Delgrosso, case number CE 22020349, case address 1110 Northeast 8th Avenue. Owner MCCS Northeast 8th Avenue LLC in care of Kai Properties. This case was first heard on 6/30/22 to comply by 8/4/22. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,000 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case on page 16, case number FC 200900010, case address 17 South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, owner Thor Gallery of Beach Place LLC. This case was first heard on 12/9/2020 to comply by 2/9/2021. There are several suspensions notated on the agenda. One section not complied at $250 per day, a total of $7,750 accrued. The city is requesting to vacate the order of August 25th, 2022, and the captain has a recommendation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Broussard, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, for case FC 20090010, property address 17 South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. We're not in favor of any continuances on this case, and we're in favor of letting the fines continue to run.
Okay, so the city's request, we vacate the August 25th order.
Correct. I guess there was some misinformation the way it was read in the previous hearing. And I guess this is going to be an order then to impose the fine.
All right.
Correct. Just impose the fine to let it continue to run.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
They asked, I guess, to vacate the order. Apparently, at the last hearing, there was some misinformation in the way that the case was read into it, so they're vacating that order. And we're just asking for no further continuances on this case and for the fines to continue to run.
All right, granted. The previous order is vacated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case on page 16, case number CE 22070546. Case address 2140 Northeast 56th Street, owner 2140 Northeast 56th Street, FLLLC. This case was cited on 7/27/22 to comply by 7/28/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $1,400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for the citation.
All right, city's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 18. Case number CE 22030441. Case address 120 Northwest 16th Street. owner Northwest 16th Street Land Trust, number 120 Trust, Florida Trust Services LLC trustee. This case was first heard on 6/30/22 to comply by 7/28/22. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,350 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
On page 18, Inspector Bernstein, Sandberg, case number CE 22050381, case address 551 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, owner FLB Hotel LLC. This case was first heard on 7/12/22 to comply by 7/22/22. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,650 accrued. The city is requesting to vacate the final order of July 22nd, 2022, and the inspector has a recommendation.
Inspector Bernstein, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, property address as read, case number as read. The city is requesting to vacate the order on 7/22/2022. The city is requesting a 50-day extension, which will more likely be a period that will extend beyond the nesting season, to the hoping that the meeting the hotel owners have or managers have with the city for the upcoming sea turtle season for a better solution. And we will request a 50-day extension while monitoring the sea turtle lighting to the end of the sea turtle season.
All right, so the request to vacate the order is granted. The relief requested by the city is also granted.
Correct. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 19, case number CE 211-00044, case address 6500 Northwest 15th Way, owner Team Horner RE Holdings LLC. This case was first heard on 5/26/22 to comply by 7/28/22. One section not complied at $50 per day, $2,350 accrued. One section complied at $50 per day, $350 accrued. A total of $2,700 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and fines continue to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Our next case is on page 20. Case number CE 210402220. The city is requesting to vacate the order imposing fines for violation 9-304B of June 30, 2022, and close the case.
All right, granted.
Our next case is on page 21. Case number CE 210700928. Case address 2316 Northwest 9th Court. Owner John W. Watson Estate. This case was first heard on 6/30/22 to comply by 7/28/22. Five sections not complied at $50 per day. $11,750 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case on page 22, case number CE 220300452. Case address 1000 West Sunrise Boulevard. Owner Sunrise Broward Investments, Inc., in care of G. Frank Casada, Esquire. This case was first heard on 5/26/22 to comply by 7/28/22. Five sections not complied at $50 per day. $11,750 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Our next case on page 23, case number FC 22050004, case address 801 Southwest 4th Court, owner Weber Investment Properties LLC. This case was first heard on 6/30/22 to comply by 7/28/22. One section complied at $100 per day, $3,200 accrued, and the city is requesting no fines.
The city's request is granted.
This concludes the special magistrate hearing agenda. Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, our next case is on page 24. Case number CE 220300185, case address 4205 Northeast 22nd Avenue. Owner Vito La Balestra and Anna Gajardo. This case was first heard on 6/14/2022 to comply by 8/16/2022. Three sections not complied at $50 per day, $4,200 accrued, and the city is requesting a 77-day extension, a stay of fines, and an order to reappear.
The city's request is granted.
Deputy Director? Portia? The case we spoke about we're not finished yet, sorry. The case we spoke about this morning on page 24 with the 77 days, we don't have a hearing until 91 days after, because we only have one hearing in the month of November. So do 91 days? Okay. So for the case number CE 22030185, the city is requesting a 91-day extension and stay of fines and an order to reappear.
All right, the city's request is granted.
Thank you. This now concludes the special magistrate agenda for September 13, 2022. The city is requesting to enter page 28 into today's hearing as an exhibit. It is the city's list of compliant, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases. Got it. Now, again, this concludes the special magistrate hearing agenda for September 13, 2022.